What is up, YouTube? So today we are going to be going over a top 5 noob-friendly god thingamajigger. So basically, the top 5 gods you should be looking at as a new player. I'm going to go over one from each class, actually. It actually worked out that way, where pretty much had one from each class. The mage was probably the hardest to have a noob-friendly god, but there's one for each class. So if you are looking at Smite, you don't know what god you want to play, you don't know where to start, these will be gods that are pretty basic in terms of the abilities you need to learn and in terms of how difficult I feel they are to play in a conquest game. This will apply to other game modes, just might not be as strong in those game modes. These are gods that aren't that bad. Most of them are pretty damn strong and very easy to play. So we're just going to jump right into it. There's no order. There's no like, this is number 1, this is number 2, blah, 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 blah. But Nemesis is one of the most basic, simple gods for someone to play when learning Smite. This is because in Smite, as a new player, it's hard for you to judge movement and getting where you want to be and being quick and timing things. So having mobility on your god, on your easy to play god, on your god that a new player is going to be on is important. So Nemesis' first ability is a dash. It's a double dash. So you can actually dash, do some stuff, and then dash again within 2 seconds. Just having the mobility, it's a very simple thing. It's in a lot of video games. People understand movement and mobility. Your 2 is a very wide cone ability where the middle cone does more damage. So it's actually nearly impossible to miss. It's really, really hard to miss, which is why I feel this is an easy mode, a noob-friendly ability. I'm not calling you guys garbage. Noob is something for me that applies to a new player. So this is perfect for a new player. Perfect ability. Your third ability on Nemesis will be your hardest to understand as a new player. It's simply a shield. And I don't think it's hard to understand. I think it's hard to use correctly. You want to use it before abilities hit you. As a new player, you probably don't know what most abilities are going to do to you. You don't know how much damage they're going to do to you. All those things. So that's one of the things you have to learn. But just know that it's a shield that makes it so you don't take as much damage and it'll reflect a little bit. It'll heal you for a little bit. You just need to understand pop shield when taking damage or when going to take damage. Then your ultimate is actually impossible to miss. That is why it's on the noob friendly list. You just target somebody with it, drop it on them. It does a lot of damage and you can't miss it, which is why I feel Nemesis is easily one of the top 5 noob friendly gods in Smite. Now on the warrior list, Ilona is my easy warrior of choice. She is super straightforward. She has mobility out of the 1, meaning you can move with this ability. Like I said, that's key to a kit in my opinion. There is more to that ability. It will block auto attacks when you're in that form, which is nice, but you don't need to understand that as a new player. You'll learn that as you go. Just understand you can move with that ability and do some damage with that ability. Your second ability is a circle. You will spin in a circle, which does a little bit of damage, and then you will slam down doing more damage. Most players who have ever played any video game understand that a big slammy ability does damage and does a lot of damage. With Ilona, that's going to do the most damage in the kit. Kind of easy to figure out as a new player. Your third ability is a ranged like line. Easy to understand. It does damage. Easy to understand. And it will also make you do a little bit of healing when you auto attack a few times with it. It also disarms the target. Understand that it does damage. Understand that it will heal you a little bit. Understand that it disarms. Mainly the damage is what you need to know as a new player. You will catch on to the other perks of each ability as you play the game more. Now your fourth ability is kind of a dunk. You will jump up in the ground and then slam down on the ground in place. You will stun somebody and you will do damage. That is the basic part of the ability which you need to understand. This is important, and this is a very noob friendly ability because it's mobility. It's jumping and slamming down and doing damage, which is very easy and basic and understand. It's a pretty easy ability to hit, as are the other 3 abilities in my opinion, or there are 4, sorry. And it also has more to it. It gives you protections and it gives you power, and it lasts there for a little longer. That's not so much what you need to focus on. Just know you have 4 damaging abilities. You have an ability that slows. You have an ability that blocks autos, which is your 1. You have an ability that does AoE damage and cleave damage, which is your 2. You have a 3 which disarms and does damage, which is awesome. Then you have your ultimate, which does more damage and stun. Key, simple, so hit all the points of a noob-friendly god. If I'm confusing you a little bit, don't be overwhelmed. Just listen to the basic parts I'm telling you. Understand they 4 abilities do damage, and it's very easy to hit confirmed damage. Trust me, it's not difficult. Guardian. Geb is our guardian who is noob friendly in my opinion. It is one of the guardians that has mobility. A lot of them do not have mobility. Your 1 will cause you to roll out. Just understand you move quicker. Simple, basic. Your 2 is a cone, easy to hit and knocks people up and does damage. Basic. Your 3 is a shield. If you've ever played a healer or any kind of supporty type god in any video game, there's usually something similar to Geb where you throw this ability at somebody and it causes them to absorb damage. Very basic. And your ultimate is a giant circle which will stun and do damage, percentage damage to somebody. So you don't need to understand what percentage damage is right now as a new player, but you do need to understand that it does damage. It controls a lot of people. It stuns in the whole area. It will stun multiple people. Basic, simple 4 abilities for you to get and for you to understand. Now, as a mage, our mage noob friendly god, a little bit more difficult. A lot of the mages are a little bit more intricate, a little bit more difficult. Abilities can be harder to land, in my opinion, for most players. So we are going with Poseidon as our noob friendly mage. Your 1 is a straight line of damage, which knocks away. So you throw it out, you see it moving, it does damage. Your 2 causes your auto attack to auto 3 times in each auto attack. Makes them easier to hit, which is perfect for a new player. Your 3rd ability is a circle, which will kind of slow and suck people into the middle of it, and it does damage. Circle abilities are good for new players, very easy to land. Your ultimate is another big circle ability. A smaller circle in the middle will do more damage and knock them up. The bigger circle will do a smaller amount of damage, but it does still do damage, and it's very easy to confirm. That is why Poseidon is on this list. Also because with his passive, he is very quick and he moves around easily. Usually, new players tend to do better with gods who just naturally move quicker, and you don't have to force the move it. You don't have to understand the movement as well. Just know that he has a passive, meaning he has this thing that just happens, and to fill up the passive, to make the passive activate, you auto attack a bunch of times. You'll see this bar fill up. When the bar is full, you move extra fast. Bing, bang, boom. Easy to understand Poseidon as a noob-friendly mage. Now for our noob-friendly hunter, I actually kind of have 2. So I'm going to go into both just because I feel that's fair to most people. And because hunters in the lower level play can be played in the mid, the ADC, which is the hunter role, or in the solo lane. They can kind of be played in all 3 lanes at that low level of play. Carnunos is our first hunter of choice. Your 1 is your most confusing ability. I recommend you play the god a little bit. Obviously, read through the abilities, but if it's confusing, don't focus on it too much. Just kind of ignore it. Your 1 has 4 stances, essentially. 4 different auto attacks that will cause your autos to do something different. You want to put the 2, or the 1, I keep on the 2. Put this 1 in the summer heat. So you'll click your 1 once. It will turn into a yellow, I believe, and it will cause you to do more damage. At a low level of play, that's fine. You don't need to switch through these. You'll be okay by just leaving it in summer heat and doing extra damage. It is a lot of extra damage. Your 2 is a thrown out circle ability. Circle abilities do a lot of damage, and they're easy to hit. Boom. Noob friendly. Simple. Your 3 is mobility that does damage. Mobility, key, gets you out of stuff. It keeps you safe. Makes it so if you fuck up, you are now in a safe spot very quickly. And then your ultimate is a giant circle that will turn people into little piggies. They can still control boars, whatever. They can still control themselves, but they can't do anything. So essentially, if you mess up really badly and put yourself in a bad spot, you put that ability on them, and then they can't do anything to you. It's also very easy to hit because it is so large, and it does do a decent amount of damage. So you've got extra damage on auto attacks, circle damage, mobility, and then bigger circle damage that makes it so you might not die. Awesome for a noob-friendly god. Great for new players. Fantastic. Neith is our other noob-friendly god in the hunter role. She's been around forever. She's like one of the first gods that the game teaches you how to play, and it's super simple. Your 1 is a line damage that also roots a target. Easy to hit damage. Your 2 heals you, slows the other person's attack speed. Not that important. Important is the circle ability that does damage. Your 3 is a backflip, which will make you jump backwards. So that's a little bit more tricky for some players, but it is mobility, and it is very simple to use once you understand which way you're going. You simply go backwards. So imagine if I was sitting in the seat and I jumped up and did a backflip. That's what Neith is going to do in the game. To make sure your back is always faced where you want to go, and press the button, and you're out of there. It also does a little bit of damage to people right in front of you. And your ultimate is one of those ultimates similar to Nemesis, where it cannot be missed. You literally cannot miss your ultimate. You press it, you'll go into this weird stance, and then you'll start looking around for enemy teammates, and it's auto-targeted. As soon as you put it on somebody and use it, it's going right for that target. The only way it cannot hit that target is if someone stands in between that target and your arrow, and it hits them instead. It will automatically hit somebody. It will do damage. It's very simple to understand. It does damage and stuns them. Makes you relevant at all times once you hit level 5 from anywhere on the map. Awesome for noob friendly. So you got easy to hit ability, easy to hit circle, backflip mobility, which is a little bit different. Not too hard to understand once you use it a few times, but a little bit different. Then you've got your ultimate, which you can't miss. Fantastic for a new player. So hopefully this guide to guide to new players playing gods and not knowing what to play, whatever you want to call this, works for you guys. If you as a new player ever have any questions, you can jump into my stream on Twitch. The link is in the description below. If this helped you, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know that, because I will make more of these videos. I plan on making more guides and more videos to help you new players. I want you guys to understand what's going on in Smite. I want you guys to figure it out as fast as possible. And I want you to excel in Conquest specifically. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the YouTube video later tomorrow.